Wheel of Fortune's Vanna White tears up in emotional farewell to Pat Sajak before his last broadcast. After 40 years of hosting the iconic game show Wheel of Fortune, Pat Sajak has announced his retirement. On his final broadcast, co-host Vanna White tearfully bid him farewell in a touching and emotional moment that left both viewers and audience members with a lump in their throats. The bond between Pat and Vanna has been one of the key ingredients to the show's success over the years. Their easy banter, genuine friendship, and undeniable chemistry have endeared them to millions of fans around the world. So it was no surprise that Vanna found it difficult to contain her emotions as she said goodbye to her longtime co-star and friend. As the final episode began, the atmosphere in the studio was heavy with emotion. The audience knew they were witnessing the end of an era, and the palpable sadness in the room was almost tangible. As Pat and Vanna took their places behind the wheel and puzzle board, it was clear that this would be a broadcast to remember. Pat began the show with his usual charm and wit, but there was a bittersweet undercurrent to his jokes and quips. As the game progressed and the contestants spun the wheel and solved puzzles, Vanna's eyes kept darting over to Pat, as if she couldn't quite believe that this was their last show together. Finally, as the final puzzle was solved and the credits began to roll, Vanna's composure broke. Tears welled up in her eyes as she turned to Pat and took his hand. In a voice choked with emotion, she began to speak. "Pat, you have been the heart and soul of this show for 4 decades," Vanna said, her voice trembling. "I am so grateful to have been by your side all these years, sharing in the laughter and the joy. You are not just a co-host to me. You are a dear friend, and I will miss you more than words can express." As Vanna spoke, Pat's eyes were also glistening with tears. He reached out and squeezed her hand, his voice barely above a whisper as he replied, "Vanna, you are the light that has guided me through every episode, every puzzle, every moment of this incredible journey. I could not have asked for a better co-host, a better friend, or a better partner in crime. Thank you for everything." The emotion in the room was palpable as the two hosts shared a final embrace, surrounded by a standing ovation from the audience. A montage of highlights from Pat's time on the show played on the screen, showcasing the many memorable moments he had shared with Vanna and the contestants over the years. As the broadcast drew to a close, Vanna wiped away her tears and turned to the camera with a smile. "To all our loyal viewers, thank you for tuning in week after week, year after year," she said. "We could not have done it without your support and love. And to Pat, thank you for being the best partner in the world. You will always have a special place in my heart." And with that, Pat Sajak's final episode of Wheel of Fortune came to an end. The lights dimmed, the audience dispersed, and the iconic wheel spun for the last time with Pat at the helm. As fans around the world watched the emotional farewell unfold on their screens, there was a collective feeling of gratitude for the decades of entertainment that Pat and Vanna had provided. The end of an era had arrived, but the memories and the magic of Wheel of Fortune would live on in the hearts of millions for years to come.